Hi there, it's Karen here and welcome back to my channel, and we're going to do another little play in my Roxy's journal. I would still like to make another piece of ephemera one because I'd like to try and fill in the blanks as much as I can. And there is another piece that I would like to use, particularly because I haven't got a lot of pockets for this journal, because there weren't as many pockets, I don't think, that we made as we did journal cards and tags. And I used up the ones that I'd made. This is going to be number 5, envelope window flips with pocket. And that's because I used them. I made some specifically for the journals that I was working on at the time, as I've said before, with the other things that I've used. So I haven't got any left. So I would like to make one. It's one of those things that once you start making one, I'll probably want to keep on making them, because they're quite addictive to make, because it's all about collaging. And so I've got this envelope. We have started getting through some that clearly are being used, have got recycled paper being used to make them. Most of our envelopes that we get are bright white and obviously brand new, but we're starting to get a few that got this slightly greyish look. I don't know if you can tell the difference. If I bring in a white one, this is one when I was just playing around with trying to make a bit of a prototype, just to make sure I got the cutting and the folding right. But you can see the difference in the colour. This is the bright white ones that we usually get, but I have got a few coming in like this, and I thought, well, it's actually quite nice to use the recycled paper because it's not as bright, even though we're covering most of it up anyway, or probably all of it. So I've already cut the back off because we don't need that bit, and all we have to do, I'll move my little journal to one side, and I might put it straight in the journal as it's a pocket. We'll find a nice spot for it, I think, afterwards, and hopefully put in a couple more things in this video. So the first thing I have to do is just to fold up. This is going to be for the flip or the flap or whatever you want to call it, that actually this part sticks into the journal. Try and get that straight as best I can. And then you have to fold up this piece just a little bit above the level of the acetate, because the top is going to be folded down to make it a bit stronger. So that's all you have to do. It's quite straightforward, and so that makes a nice little pocket. So most of the job is going to be collaging it and making it look pretty. This is not folding very well. That doesn't really matter because that bit's going to be cut off. I just want to make sure that is folded. Okay, so now we're going to cut off this bit that won't fold in properly. Scissors. So I am actually filming this a little bit ahead, about a week ahead of myself, which I like to be at least a week ahead. Sometimes I catch up with myself if either I can't craft for whatever reason, or if we go away or something like that. But I have managed to just about get myself a little bit ahead, even though I am still nursing my shoulder a little bit. So I don't know how long this video will be, because I don't really want to have to edit too much. So my way of not having to edit is every time I'm going to do something like gluing or anything that's a bit boring, I'll probably turn the camera off and turn it back on again, and then it's actually reduced the amount of editing I actually have to do. So I think sometimes that isn't good for my shoulder. It's using the mouse. I don't do it with the pad. I use a mouse, and sometimes just doing these small movements can actually aggravate my shoulder, especially if it's playing up a bit. So there we are. We have the pocket, and we just have to fold this edge in a bit. Let's see if I've done it about right. I think I need to fold it in just a touch more. It's always a bit tricky once you've done it once to get it where you want it. Let's see if that looks better. Is it straight? I don't even know. No. No. Well, it's okay, because you can just see the bottom there, but I'll probably cover the back of this anyway, I think. Just put a little bit along there just so you can't see it. Or do I? Do I just do it? No. Oh well, it'll be fine now. It'll be fine. I might put a little bit of something behind there, just to make sure it's covered. Right, so now we start to collage. So I've got a lot of bits and pieces. I've got a whole pile of these. These are some of the bits I've been using. These are the Rachel papers that I picked out and then didn't use in my signature. So I'm still trying to use them up, because I think it'd be a shame not to use them, as I picked them up because I like them. Right, so I think I'm just going to cover that piece there, and I'm going to just tuck it around the side a little bit. I'm just going to, I think I'll just tear, leaving the little flower behind in case I want to use that somewhere else. So, as I say, I'm filming ahead, so this might be old news, but we've had some bit of upheaval regarding our house sale this week, because our buyer, who stuck with us right from the beginning, I mean, they saw the house right when we first went on the market and have loved it, stuck with us right through, even though it's taken us ages to find the house that we want. But they have a buyer who is a bit unreliable, shall we say. Just before we saw the house that we ended up wanting to go for, he dropped out. And so we had no chain, so we didn't have a complete chain, so we weren't able, the people we wanted to buy from weren't able to accept our offer, because they needed us to be ready to go, and we weren't. So we had to go back on the market, and then the guy who dropped out, I mean, I think he dropped out some weeks before, but it'd been about 3 weeks, decided that he would drop back in again, that he would actually had resolved his issues. I'm trying to work out which way round I want this. No, I want it that way. Can't make my mind up. He resolved all his issues, and that he was ready to progress the purchase of our buyer's house. So everybody was happy. We were able to put our offer in on the house we wanted. It hadn't been long, so they hadn't sold it, even though they were still getting people round. So they then accepted our offer. All was going nicely, and then blow me, 2 days ago, he dropped out again. He has his reasons, I'm sure. We've been told one story. We're not sure how much of it we actually believe. But anyway, so it meant that once again we had an incomplete chain. But as it happened, in the meantime, another couple had been round to see our house and had really liked it, and had put in quite a somewhat lower offer than we were hoping for, and we hadn't accepted it. And while we were thinking about it and they were deciding whether to make us a higher offer, the other couple, the original couple, had come back in, and we'd gone with them. So our agent went back to them and said, oh, the house has come back on the market again. Are you still interested? Are you able to up your offer? Well, very luckily for us, they decided they would. So, yeah, so they have now said they would will come in with a higher offer. Well, they did come in with a higher offer, which we were able to accept. I mean, it wasn't quite what we were hoping for, but it comes to the point when you say, well, for the matter of a relatively small amount in the scheme of things, and just it felt like cutting off our noses to spite our faces, just to say, no, it's not enough. So we have accepted their offer, and we are progressing finally. And we never actually had to tell our other seller until it was all a fait accompli, that we just had to say, well, we've got to change your buyer now. And we didn't have to go through the trauma of her sort of having to decide whether she would go with us or not, stay with us or not. So yeah, so it's all going ahead still, but not without a certain amount of fingernail biting and thinking, because I think we were at the stage where we were all ready to say, right, that's it. We're going to stop. Well, that's not very straight, is it? If I can. No, that's upside down. How far up am I supposed to go with that? I think I might, if I go there. Oh, I haven't done it wide enough. Do it again. It's because I can't talk and craft at the same time. That's my problem. Right. Even if I'll make it a bit wider, and then if I have to trim it off afterwards, so be it. At least I'll have it covering properly. I didn't want a bit of the envelope sticking out. Right, let's try this one. Right, I'm going to stick it on and then trim it off. That's the thing, that's the way to go. Yeah, so that's been our week. Very up and down, as it's been right from the start, really. It's been a proper old roller coaster, it feels like. But I think that's quite par for the course when you're buying and selling. It's one thing just, you know, when you start out, it's quite traumatic enough having to buy a house, but when you've got to sell one and get it all happening at the same time, it's been a long, long time since we've done this. We've been in this house 23 years, and before that we were in our other house 10 years, and actually we bought this one on a, oh, I forgot to tear this off, didn't I? On a part exchange deal, so actually we didn't even have to, we did start off by trying to sell it, the other one, but because this was new, the builder actually were offering part exchange, so they actually bought it off us. Slightly below market value, but not too bad, really. We didn't do too bad out of it. Where are we? Where's my scissors? Yeah, so we actually hadn't had to go through the trauma, really, of coordinating selling out one house in order to buy the next. So this is only really the second time we've had to do it this way. And we keep, the thing is, when you're moving up, so you're moving from a smaller house to a bigger house, you really want to go. You want somewhere bigger. You know, you're improving your circumstances, so you know, you just want to keep going because you want to move. Because I found that once we've made that decision, you know, the house you're in starts to almost shrink around you. It starts to feel ever so small. Well, this time it's not really like that because, you know, we love this house. We certainly don't want to get anything bigger. Although I think some of the rooms are slightly bigger in the one we're going for now. But you know, we'd come home after seeing some of these houses and go, oh, we just want to stay here. We love our house. So it was actually sometimes quite difficult now. Have I actually done that right? I'm trying to think. Just got to think what I've got to do. Yes, that goes in like that. Yes, that goes in like that, doesn't it? Let's just make sure I refold. I have to think now. It's not a complicated thing. I want to make sure I do it right. So it's going to attach to the page like that. This is going to be coming up like that. So actually, it's got to be like that. So actually, I should have left this. I should have covered this little flap here. Should have gone right down to the bottom, shouldn't I? Okay, I'll just do another little piece. Wasn't thinking properly. Get a bit obsessed when you're in the middle of house hunting and house moving. I'm sure I'm boring my friends to bits. Don't talk about anything else. But on the whole, most of them have done it more recent. Most of my friends that I've been talking to have done this more recently than we have, and you know, happy to listen and give us advice. We need advice. Well, I do. Half the time Richard just doesn't want to talk about it. He's finding it quite traumatic, I think. I'm going to glue in this bit of the pocket, so that's out the way. Right, so I think I do want to put a little tiny piece across under here. I had a little tiny bit of little music piece I could use, or I could use a piece of this. I could put a piece of that just under there, I think. It's actually worked quite nice. The couple who are now buying our house, they wanted to come and see it again. Now I think the wife came first on her own, then they came back, and she came back with her husband so he could see it, and that was when they made their original offer. And this time they said could they come back with their boys. So we said yes, of course. So we made us, we said well we had to do a quick tidy up, as you do. Going around with the hoover. Well, that was Richard, and I was, we were just tidying, making sure everything's out of the way. Just wanted to look as best as it could, and but they were a little early, so we actually met them. That's the first time we've met anybody who's, any of the people buying our house or looking at our house, and so we did meet them, and they came and we saw the boys, and they were quite young. And I said afterwards to Richard, they look about the age that our girls were when we moved here. I'm wondering about this piece. I've got this piece of, I think this was used to wrap around some flowers that I had a while ago. I quite liked it, so I thought I'd keep it, but I've not used it before. But I'm going to use a piece of it on here, I think, just for something different. Pop of colour. Wondering whether to put it around the top. Might do that. Yeah, so they were, as I say, about the same age as our girls were. Well, similar sort of age. I thought, oh, this is a great estate for them to grow up on. It's going to be nice. It's going to be nice for them. Because it's. I mean, I know you can. I've got the window open, so occasionally you can hear a car going by. But really and truly, it's quite a nice, quiet estate. Lots of spaces for kids to perhaps knock a ball about. There's a couple of little green areas that would be quite nice for the boys. So I thought, yeah, they're the perfect family really to move in. So we're really happy to see them. Right, and then I've got that. I don't know whether to. Bit gluey. I might just glue that down. I think I'm doing it in a different order to the way Rachel did it, but I don't think it matters as long as it all gets. She was doing several because it was part of her challenge, so she was doing several one after the other, so a bit like a mass make type of arrangement. Whereas I'm just going to do the one. I think when I did the challenge, I managed possibly 3. Certainly not as many as she did. Okay, so I just need a bit to cover this, don't I? What else have we got here? Oh, that's quite pretty. Let that go. Let's see what else. Well, that's quite nice. Perhaps if I because I've got the yellow here and there's a bit of yellow here, so it's goes quite nicely together. And then the colour of the butterfly is similar to the colour of that paper, so I think it was meant to be. see. Butterfly's only just going to fit. And, oh, sticking already. There, and let's just fold that there. And then, excuse me. So I'm filming this on quite a momentous day in this country, because our Prime Minister has just resigned today, which is, I'm not really that interested in politics, but when things like that happen, I get quite, you know, I like to watch it. So next Monday, we're going to go back to the house that we're buying, which we haven't been back for a second viewing, so it's quite exciting. I was really getting worried that we were going to lose it, but oh dear. I'm going to have to stick something on there because it's picked up some of the print from the glue page, so I may have to put something else on here. So what shall I put on there? Have I actually made that? Ooh. Probably should have cut the pocket down a little bit. Just going to trim it. It's just sticking out a little bit there. I'll try and trim it without actually cutting the envelope itself. There we are. That's better, I think. Now I need to put something here because I've picked up some newsprint, although that kind of adds a little bit to the design. I'm wondering whether to use a little bit of my washies that I made. I call the faux washies. How about this one? A bit of green. What else have I got? Just got them sitting in this pot, but they're all falling over. Yeah, I'll use a bit of this, but I think it's a bit wide, so I'm just going to cut a piece and then cut it down a little bit. There we go. Doing the usual little battle with the backing. There we are. Oh, now I'm feeling like I need something else there. I'm just going to go and get my labels. I feel like I need a little label there. It's a bit plain. Right, I have some Tracy Fox labels. I fancy a number label. Just a small one though. What's this one? These two. I like that one actually. That will do. That's going to go on here. And then we'll do the front. Half the time you don't really see this bit because it's the inside. But when you flap it open, you will. So right, managed to get the back off. Took me a moment. And I'm just going to pop that there. Okay. Right. And so now this is going to be still a little bit Still catching there a little bit, I think. I should have angled this pocket a bit more. You live and learn, don't you? I don't know if I can cut any more off without risking damaging the envelope itself. So I'm just going to give it a good old press down. Right, so front of the pocket. Let's see what I've got. I've got my scrap box sort of next to me on a little table, so I'm just going to reach for a few bits. So that's really pretty. Really like that. It's just the right width. It's a bit handy. So I thought what I will try and do, it depends how easy it is to set up my camera. I'll try and, as far as I can, film the process of packing up my craft room and moving to the new craft room and showing you the new craft room, and then, you know, that might take a while for that to get properly how I want it. I don't know. Whether I'll be able to do work in there in the meantime, I'm not sure. Okay, so I've got that. I need a little bit to go down here. Maybe I'll do something a bit quieter for this side. Otherwise it can get a little bit too much in your face, can't it, if you have too much decoration. Let's see. I could put some book page on, actually. Thinking about it. Maybe a bit of book page would look quite nice on there. I have got a piece of this, which is some French. I think I'd quite like to just sit here and make half a dozen of these, but I think for the purposes of the video I'll just make one and then try and put some things into the journal. Right. Whoop. Going to work. Yep. That'll work fine. I'll put that on there. Oops. Sure it lines up properly. Ugh. It's gone a bit skew-iffy. Start again. Alright. Cut that off a little bit. Just a tiny little smidge. Right. That away. Might put a piece of that over there. Where's my ruler, she says. Yes, got it right next to you, you silly woman. And doesn't need to be much because I don't want it to go over the top. I probably made it too wide. Anyway. Okay, what am I doing with all these bits knocking around? Okay, that can go there. That way up. Alright, so I think I'm going to put this here. I'm not sticking it down quite yet until I've found what I want to put at the bottom, because it is sideways, but I still quite like it, because my other option would be to use this, which I also rather like, but I don't know how well it will fit. We'd lose some of the flower, but not too much. So that's my other option, depending on what I want to put across the bottom. Let's have a look. I'll bring in my box. And you can see what I've got. It's a ridiculously... I really need to cut some of this down. I need to do some scrap reduction videos, don't I? I do want to stick with Rachel stuff, so I've got lots of long, narrow things. Not many other bits. This bit, which is rather nice. Let's have a look at that, see how it looks. Oh, I do like that. No, I'm not sure this will go now. Will that go? Take this out for a minute. Oh yeah, that's okay. Why not? Actually, that doesn't need to be quite so long. Turn the other way. It's got a bit stiff because it was one I used and covered in glue, and then had to. Where was I? Where was I going to put it? Yep. So it's been covered in glue and then wiped off, so it's got a bit stiff. That's better. Okay, get rid of that bit. I'll put this on last, I think, and just have that overlapping fraction. Get these bits off. And put that, I think. Like that. Let's hope it covers. that down there. And that one there. Okay, let's do it. I think that's the last bit. Mm. There we are. And then this piece, I need another glue page. Need something longer. Right to the edge. That's it. Any bits sticking out? Not too bad. There's a little bit there. Right. Let's move all these bits out the way. So there it is. It was week number 5, this one. And it was, where's my book? Envelope window flips with pocket. So there's the window, the flip, and here's the pocket. So then we can put something in the pocket to show through the window. So that the trick will be finding a tag which has got the right picture in it. So shall we have a look? As I happen to have a whole bunch of tags in my box. So let's start with, ooh, is that going to fit? Might be too. So the first one, these are actually number 1. So I've got a few of these, and they'll all be different sizes. So is this going to fit? Probably not, I don't know. Ooh. Yes, it does. Oh, look at that. Actually looks quite nice. Okay, so that's definitely a possibility. I was surprised. I thought it might not fit because it's quite wide. And then I've got, these are all week number 1, which were book page tags. So they're just tags made of book pages. So they're all quite different. That's not going to be big enough. So actually, as I use one week's worth of things, so I've got 4 tags under book week number 1, but once I've used one of them, the others are going to go in my stash. That might work because of the colours, if I can get it in the pocket. Is that going to go in? Because of the lace might just make it. Oh no, it's gone in okay. Put it in too far. That's also not bad colour-wise. I don't think it's quite tall enough actually. Similar size to the other one, but yeah, that was it. So I think it's, these 2 are too small. So I think, so this one, which I quite like, or this one, which actually I think I prefer, because I think the colours, well, the colours go quite well on both of them, but I think this is the one. Just going to pop that in there. and then we'll put it in the book. So the first thing I have to do is mark what this is. So this is week 1, and I'm just wondering whether to use my labels or just to do straight on the tag. I think I'll just write straight on the tag. I've got my number stamps. I'll get hold of it. There we are. Alyssa had all these out at the weekend. She had everything out. I had everywhere, stuff everywhere, but she had a lovely time, so I didn't mind at all. So number, and it's number 1. So that goes on the tag, and then I'll put the number of for the pocket in the book, as we did in the last time. So I'm just going to get my black archival ink out, and make sure I've got a wipe at the ready, so I'm going to get rid of any nasty bits around the edge, the extra bits that I don't want across the edge. Just wipe that. There we go. Number 1, or number. I didn't completely get rid of it, did I? Okay, and then it's a bit tedious having to do this, but otherwise it kind of spoils it, doesn't it, if you don't get that bit off. And then number 1, not very straight, but never mind. And then I've just got to write what it is. Let's just see if I can find a pen. Book page tags, simple as. So all of these things that I've made, that it will be in the Roxy's Weekly Challenge playlist, and I think certainly the ones that she has a playlist as well for Roxy's Weekly Challenge 2021, and so the ones that she made are in that one, and the ones I made are in my playlist. So if you want to check out how many of these things were made the first time, you can go ahead and look on those playlists. Right. Okay, so that pops in here. And you've got that looking through there. And now we're going to put it in the book. Where's my book? Let's hope it's not too big. It's going to take up a fair size of the page, isn't it? Just got to find something that a place where it'll look okay. But this green page, how would it look on there? God, it only just fits, doesn't it? I wonder if I could. Oh, well, that's because this is. I have to cut these pages down quite a bit to fit into this little the book cover. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it in there because we've got the green here. I rather like that. It shows nicely against that green. So I'm going to stick it in. Ooh. just use my tacky glue to stick it in, because I think that will work quite well. And I'm just going to line it up with the edge of my page. Just open it. Where's my card? Just get a card out. Oops, and rub it down. And then when it opens out, we can put on some of our little labels for the actual pocket. Move this out of the way. I've got my Florentine papers out, but I didn't actually use them in the end. So where are they? Oh, they're not over there. Oh, over here. These are my little labels that I'm using. So these are Roxy Creations labels, which I'm going to use to say where. I may end up putting a piece of washi down here just to make sure it's all held in place. In fact, I might just do that anyway, because the washi tape is all part of the Roxy's weekly challenge, wasn't it? So actually I could put the matching washi tape. Have I got another one that just is something different? No, I haven't got the... What's that? Oh, that's quite nice. It's a very pale pink. I don't even know if you can see it, but it's pale pink. Maybe I'll just put a piece of that on, just to make sure that it stays put. Don't want the whole thing. I can use this on something else. I think I'll just pop that there. Okay. Right, here we go. It's very, very pale. But it doesn't show up too badly against the green. Actually, you can see the pink, you can see the pattern. So that's okay. It's just an extra layer to keep it in place. Right, so that goes like that. Let's see if we can find a tag. That's just one I haven't cut out yet. So we need a small one and a large one, don't we? Let's pick the small one first. Nope, disappears. Used to be a bit of a contrast, doesn't it? But not clashy. Those blues aren't quite right. What about this one? That might work. That one. Yep, I like that one. And now I need a big one. Nope. It's possible. Too blue, too blue. Quite sure what's going on that one. Nope. 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 I think we'll go with this one. Just have a quick flick through. Although it's quite pretty. No, I don't think so. It doesn't quite contrast enough. Okay, I like that one. Some of them are going to be more difficult to write on than others. But I've got loads more still to cut out, so hopefully by the time I do the next video on this, I'll cut some more out. Let's put my green washi tape back in the pot. Right, so these need to be written on. So where's my hashtag? Now this was hashtag, I think this is number 5. Let me just double check. Envelope window flips with pocket. Envelope flips with pocket. And let's do me all. Another go at doing this without any extra embellishment around the edge. That's better. Number 5. Hey, that's more like it. I'd like to say I'm getting better at this, but knowing me, I'll make a mess of it the next time. Alright, so let's put this in. Number 5. Oops. And this one is in envelope window flips with pocket. And there it is. So much fun to make. I really feel like making a few more of these because they, let's see, the ones I made before, I used them all because I was so pleased with them. One I made for my bird journal, I remember that because it had the owls. I think the owl in the pocket on the tag. I made the tags to go with it, and they worked really well. And I think, can't remember if I made one for one of my wedding journals as well. I think I may have done. Yeah, so could actually put a little flip up on there, couldn't I? Put a little tab. I'm wondering whether to use one of these, which is the little snippety things that we made, also part of the challenge. My words have gone. So this was number 14, so I could almost use that there. That one. There's a few here. Just little tiny snippets. That one. No. That goes quite well. The blue there, the blue in the flowers. Or this one. I think I like this one best. It's often the first one you see, isn't it? I'm going to put that there. And then that'll be something to flip it up. And it also covers up this, which is sticking out a bit. No, you don't have to cover it up, but I would like to. Get the old up glitter glue to come and just glue that little bit down. If only it would. Oh well. I think I'll just put a bit of this up. Just a bit more of that. That worked. Okay, and then I'm going to put a bit of this on, and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac, and I think that will have to be it for today. And well, Mr. Fabri-Tac, just help me out this last little bit. It's probably enough on there, I'm just making absolutely sure. I think I probably need to top up my bottle. It's getting harder to get it to come out. Okay. That one there. Move it up a little bit. There. I'll probably, this might be something I'll put more of these on, so I might do the label. I might put a label here, I haven't decided. Because I've got others which I might use somewhere else where it's easier to put the label. I don't know. Otherwise I should put a label here and describe the snippet. Top. So there it is. It's the only thing I've managed to do today, but actually it's quite nice to make things, as well as just putting some of this stuff in here, which I've got loads to do obviously. It's nice to make a start and actually make some of these things again. It was such a lot of fun to do last year, was it? Yes, last year. I'm actually enjoying making some more. I wonder if I could just pop something in here while we're here. That'd be another thing done, wouldn't it then? I'm just looking at this. One last little flourish. I've got these. Is that too big? Might be, oh, I don't know, might go in quite nicely actually. That might work because it's got the blue. That's what took my eye, was the blue topper. And these are week number 22. I might just have to trim this a touch, much as I'd rather not, but I suppose any kind of tag is going to be tucked in somewhere, isn't it? So there we are. How about that? And then I'll write on the back of what it is. And this one is number 22, week number 22, which is stamped fabric nature tags. There we go. So the fabric was stamped on, and then it was a nature themed. I'm just going to quickly do the back of this one, and then I really am going to stop. I'm having too much fun, that's the trouble. So let's just stamp the back of this one, and then I'm really going to finish. What do I do with my, there it is, sorry, with my wipe. Wipe around the edges. 22 this was. So I'm not going to do them in any kind of order, just as things seem to fit onto the page, and whatever goes into each of the pockets and seems to work. Two. I know me, the next two will be skew-iffy, but we will try. See if I can get it to line up next to it. Not quite, but never mind. I'm not going to stress over it. You can see it's number 22. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, usually not in my case, but never mind, I'm not going to worry about it. And now I'm going to write what this one is, which is, just check again, Stamp Fabric Nature Tags. I'm going to write that down here. Okay, so that's done, and that can go in here. So I'll just put this top on here for all the good it does. And so we've definitely got a very blue page here, haven't we? That's quite nice. Just tuck that in a little bit. There we go. There, another one in. So I'm not sure quite what I'm going to be doing next in the next video. I might do some more of this, I might do some on my birthday journal, I might do something else completely, who knows? I certainly don't. So please do join me again for that, whatever it's going to be, and thank you very much for joining me today. Bye for now.